Well, hello and welcome to this English lesson about utilities and services. So utilities and services are all of the things you pay for besides rent. When you rent an apartment or when you rent a house or when you own an apartment or own a house, there are things you need and you have to pay for them. Obviously, there's a little bit of a hint here about what the lesson is about. You see a light bulb and a water drop and a flame, and I'm not sure what the fourth thing is. And then, of course, Wi-Fi or internet. You need to have a place to live, but you also need certain things, certain utilities and services in order to have an enjoyable day. Electricity, for one, is a really cool thing to have. It allows me to have lights. It allows me to use my computer, and the internet, of course, allows me to teach you an English lesson. So once again, welcome to this English lesson about utilities and services. Utility bill. Why am I starting with utility bill? Well, everything I'm going to talk about in this English lesson costs money, okay? And when things cost money, you get a bill. So usually these utility bills are monthly here in Canada. I think that's pretty common around the world. There are things you need, and you need to pay for them each month. So each month you will get a utility bill. You will get an electrical bill, you'll get a gas bill, you'll get an internet bill, and you will have to then send that company, that utility company, that money. I'm not sure what this bill is for, but it's $311.62. That's pretty expensive. I hope that's not the phone bill. That would be a little bit pricey. Anyways, utility bills. It's basically a piece of paper with your name and address and the date and an amount of money that you owe for that utility, usually for that month. They come monthly. And you do need to pay for electricity. We sometimes just say power. I didn't put this word on the screen, but in Ontario, Canada, some of us say hydro. So I would say like I pay for hydro. But if you're learning English, just ignore that. We pay for electricity, or we just use the general term power. So basically you have the electric company, or you have the company that generates power or electricity. And then in order to have electricity, you need to pay a monthly bill. So you can plug in your toaster, and you can plug in your computer, and you can plug in your lights. Oh, the lights just went out. Yeah, that was me. I pushed the button. Oh, and my camera was adjusting there. Anyways, electricity, probably one of the most common bills that you will pay, one of the most common utilities. By the way, I mentioned that this was about utilities and services. We tend to use the word interchangeably a bit. Utilities are usually things like electricity. Having your garbage picked up is considered more of a service, and I'll try to keep that in mind as I teach each of these. The electricity comes into your house or apartment somewhere, and it comes into an electrical panel. So this is a panel with circuit breakers in it. If it's really old, it might have fuses in it, but this is where your electricity comes into your apartment or your house. Sometimes, like when I turn the light off, if it wasn't me turning it off, it might have been a breaker tripping in the basement. We sometimes call them trips as well. You probably have a phone. If you have a phone, you probably have a phone plan. In order to use your phone, you have to pay someone so that it is connected to the phone network. Maybe you have an old-fashioned phone. Maybe you have a new phone like most of us do. In order for me to use my phone, there is a SIM card in my phone, a little card, and that allows my phone to connect. Who am I connected to? TELUS, I think, is the company. So I pay them a certain amount of money every month. I think about $50 a month so that I can use this phone to make phone calls, to text, and to use the internet. I have both the ability to phone, text, and I have a data plan. By the way, if I'm talking too fast, it's from lack of sleep. Sorry about that. Anyways, you need a phone plan in order to use a phone. You need to be connected to the phone network. So you will decide, what phone plan do I want? How much data do I need every month? Do I want unlimited calling minutes? Do I want the ability to send an unlimited amount of texts? So that is what you would do. And that is one of your utilities. If you have an old-fashioned phone, it's probably connected to the wall, and then a wire or cable goes out to the phone company. Water. You do definitely need water. You need drinking water, or I call it, I think I say potable water, but someone told me it's potable water. So don't learn your pronunciation from me for that one. But you need drinking water. You need water to cook with. You need clean water in your house so that you have something to drink. You have something if you want to boil some eggs. You have something that you can use to wash the dishes. You need water. So you will get a water bill every month. Because I live out in the country, I actually buy my water and it comes in a truck. And we pick up our drinking water in town with large blue jugs. I think I've showed you those before. I don't have one sitting by me right now. We sometimes also refer to it as running water, especially if you rent a cabin in northern Canada. You can rent a cabin with running water, or it might not have running water. That means you will have to bring water with you in bottles or jugs. So water, running water, and I used the term drinking water as well, a common way to refer to water. There are two things there. Sorry, let's talk about just this one thing. In order to have water, your country or your city or your town must have a water treatment plant. If I go to the tap to get a glass of water to drink it, it has to be clean drinking water. In order to do that, the water goes through a water treatment plant. They take it from a lake or river. It gets cleaned and disinfected and sanitized and filtered, and many things happen. I don't know if you can see all the words, but at one end you have water from the lake. At the other end, hopefully you have clean, safe drinking water. I think if we make this bigger, there are some really big words on there that even I don't know. But this is the process for creating drinking water, a water treatment plant. You also have what's called sewer. When I lived in town, my water bill and my sewer bill were the same bill. In some towns in Canada, your sewer bill is based on the amount of water that you use. So if you use a certain number of liters of water per month, you're charged for the water. But then you're also charged a sewer fee for the water, because basically any water that comes in your house goes down the drain or the toilet at some point, but you pay for sewer. I'm not sure how much this costs in Canada, but certainly you pay for water to come into your home, into your apartment or house, and then you pay for sewer so that when you flush the toilet, it goes through the pipes and it goes away to the wastewater treatment plant. So in Canada and in many parts of the world, you have water treatment plants to create good water, but then you